Everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a pretty exciting one for me because I wanted to try out this primer for forever and it's been sold out for so long and I finally got my hands on it. So today, I will be reviewing the Elf Poreless Putty Primer, which Jefree Star said it is a dupe for the Tatcha Silk Canvas. Today I will be putting that to the test. I finally will be putting my hands inside this. It sounds so weird. So today I will be testing this baby out, comparing it to the Tatcha Silk Canvas, and giving you my full thoughts on whether this is actually a dupe or not. If you'd like to know if this is worth your $8, then just go ahead and keep on watching. So today's video is mostly going to be up nice and close. So today, as you know from the intro, I will be reviewing the Elf Poreless Putty Primer and comparing it to the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. Jefree Star is the one that made this comparison, and basically because of him, this product has been sold out for months and months and months, and I actually got lucky enough to snag this when he came back. Half of my face is going to be the Tatcha Silk Canvas, and half of my face is going to be the Elf Poreless Putty Primer. I want to really compare on smell, texture, price, how it looks and blends out on the skin, how it makes my skin feel, and then how products apply on top. So I will begin with the Tatcha Silk Canvas. There's not much to say about this besides the fact that I love it. I'm just dipping my hand in here and I am applying this on my face, obviously only to half of my face. And I generally do apply this to the whole face just because this does kind of make your face one even texture, fills in your pores, and make sure that what is going on top is going on very smoothly and it kind of has something to adhere to. I do want to say that smell-wise, Tatcha is absolutely scented and the Poreless Putty Primer is not so much. The Tatcha one smells like a spa, like luxurious ingredients, and it just makes you feel nice and bougie when you put it on, while the Poreless Primer from Elf does not have any kind of smell. Texture-wise, I think Tatcha is a little bit more whipped and not as like runny in a way, like it's a thicker formula, where the Elf is still a thick formula and definitely very, very close to Tatcha, but it doesn't have that same almost like whipped-like effect. It's still the same color and it is gliding on my face, I want to say, generally in the same way. It blended into the skin about the same way, maybe slightly harder to blend it in than the Tatcha because of the difference in the actual texture. It's a little bit harder. It's not as whipped, but it's still silky. It still went into my pores. It still has that glide over the face feeling, and it did make my face feel just as plump and smooth as the Tatcha one did. So now that the primer is applied to both sides of my face, what I do want to do is kind of do my regular everyday makeup that I would on top of this anyway. So I will be using the Hourglass foundation stick and just seeing how things blend on top. So this is the Elf side, this is the Tatcha side. So looking at this super up close, it looks really similar on both sides. It does look like the Tatcha made my skin slightly less skin-like, if you want to say. Like I'm seeing a little less texture and pores in this area than in this area, especially when I turn my face. And the Tatcha side is almost a little more matte than the Elf side is, but other than that, there's no film on top. It didn't ball up, it didn't bunch up. It looks like my skin. It didn't change the color of my skin or anything like that, which is a big worry because it goes on so thick and white. So I'm just gonna go and do my foundation. So I'm not seeing a huge difference on things blending out differently on either side of my face, which is nice and a positive. I am seeing the difference of this side of my face just looks like it has a little bit less pores, a little bit less texture. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little brush like this and I'm going to apply some bronzer. I'm going to go in with my MAC Give Me Sun just to warm up my face a little bit. I'm going to take also a little bit of the Marc Jacobs. So this is what the Tatcha side looks like. As you can see, my highlight is not looking chunky at all. It's just looking really nice and smooth under. You really can't see my pores here at all. Everything looks nice and flawless and I look really nice and fresh. And then on this side, I feel like you can see my pores a little bit more. Just like when I was applying it, I could tell that there's going to be a little bit more pores in this side. It just doesn't look as smooth. Not that I put a lot under my under eye, but I feel like my under eye just looks not as like pulled together. Besides that, I still think it looks really, really nice, and I still think it really evened out my skin, but just not as much as the Tatcha side. So I'm gonna jump off camera and do my hair, and I'll come back, kind of zoom you out, and we'll talk about the price, the ingredients, the similarities, the differences, and all that jazz. So just hang tight. So I am back, and from further away, I am kind of still sticking to that the Tatcha side looks just a little bit more put together, a little bit more poreless, a little bit smoother. Things just look a little more effortless on that side and just more natural. So I do want to go in and do some comparisons. I do want to start with the most important one, which is going to be the ingredients. Now highlighted in yellow are going to be the same ingredients that also appear in the Elf primer as well. So there's a good amount of the same ingredients in here, but there's also a lot of different ingredients as well. And with the Tatcha, these are more focused around the beneficial ingredients that are in this primer. Kind of gears it more towards skincare versus just a primer. So the thin layers of silk keep skin smooth and glowing all day, and then the anti-pollution natural actives fight immediate attack from environmental stressors, help support the skin's barrier function to act against future attacks, visibly reducing the appearance of wrinkles and dullness. And then the How to Say 3 is a complex of anti-aging nutrients which reveal soft, youthful looking skin. Sephora has also labeled the Tatcha skincare clean, which means that it is non-comedogenic, non-irritating, non-sensitizing, dermatologist tested, cruelty-free, and formulated without synthetic fragrances, mineral oils, sulfates, detergents, urea, DEA, and TEA. Pretty much ingredient-wise, I feel like Tatcha wins this because it does provide a little bit of skin benefits versus just being a primer. So size-wise, I do have the mini size of the Tatcha, but the true size, like the regular size, comes as a 0.7 ounces of product, while the Elf comes at 0.74 ounces, so it's a tiny bit more product. Now, price-wise, this is insane. Elf is only $8. Tatcha is a whopping $52. Both the Elf and the Tatcha primers are sitting at 4 stars. Both, of course, have some cons along with pros. So I do want to kind of focus on the cons here a little bit. Obviously, Tatcha is expensive. It does say that a lot of people felt like it kind of didn't grip the makeup to the face. It was not good for oily skin. And that it just like didn't do what they expected the primer to do, didn't fill their pores and things like that. As for the Elf primer, the cons definitely were that it doesn't work, same as Tatcha, doesn't fill in the pores, and then that it is difficult to apply, that it doesn't stay on, kind of balls up, just like a lot of people did say the Tatcha did. But the things that really stuck out to me about the Elf primer was the fact that there are a lot of people who said it irritated their skin, that it caused breakouts, which is a huge red flag for me. I don't really want to put anything on my face that is going to clog my pores, anything that is going to cause breakouts, anything that is going to irritate my skin. So I am a little bit worried for this side of the face. Now I want to do kind of the pros and cons in my opinion. So the pros for Elf are absolutely the price, the amount of product that you get in here, that it has no smell, and that it does fill my pores, and it is a nice primer. The cons is the fact that it's like never available, that it is not deemed clean, it has ingredients that could be irritating to the skin, that it does cause breakouts for other people, and it just does not look as smooth as the Tatcha side. So the pros for Tatcha is absolutely the fact that there are skincare ingredients inside the primer, so it's not just a primer, it's doing good things for the skin. I do like the texture, I love the smell of it, I like that it's clean, so it doesn't have all those negative ingredients that could cause irritation and could, you know, cause imbalances and things like that. So I just feel good about putting something that I know is clean on my skin, and it just looks so flawless. It definitely fills in every pore. My skin looks really nice and clean, and just everything looks so good on top of it. The cons are obviously going to be the price. Absolutely, that's probably the only con for the Tatcha primer. It's just so fucking expensive. It's just so expensive. Overall, the similarities are absolutely there. I think that the Elf was definitely mirrored after the Tatcha. I do think the consistency is similar. I do think that it does a similar job on the skin. Would I say that it's a replica? No. Would I say that it is a good dupe? Yes, to a certain extent. I do believe that if you're looking for something on a budget, the Elf primer is absolutely something that you should look into. So that is my opinion on this. Honestly, do I think that is an exact dupe? Absolutely not. I still am way more obsessed with my Tatcha. I was very excited to try the Elf one. I am a little bit scared that it is going to cause breakouts, so that's definitely something that is really shying me away from using this on an everyday basis. Will I try and use it? Absolutely. Will it be something that I pick over my Tatcha? Probably not. I would rather save a little bit more money and purchase something that I feel good about using and feel good about putting on my skin and it's never broken me out. That is where I'm going to be wrapping up my video today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think down below. Show me some love, click the like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and go ahead and follow me on Instagram as well. That is all that I have to say. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.